Here we have Bitcoin versus the dollar, and a lot of very interesting things actually happened over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin, obviously, well, actually, this was not the last 24 hours. This was about 3-4 days ago. Bitcoin took out the last lower high right there. So we are no longer in a downtrend. Obviously, we are in a bit of a, we're in a bit of a decision phase right here in the sense that we do have a higher high. We don't necessarily have a higher low just yet. At some point, Bitcoin's going to, very likely turn back down around and put in a higher low. If you want to be bullish, and that would be very, very good. That'd be excellent for Bitcoin to do, and would really solidify long-term bullishness. But something that I put a lot more weight on other than that would be the 5-day over here on CME closing tonight at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Any sort of a closure, especially above 50,000 bucks, we'll say, you maybe even cut that down to like 49.5 or so. And I'd be looking for this to really have a nice big move up into the deep 50s. I'm talking somewhere around like 57 to 58,000 bucks right here, somewhere around like the last high value nodes that we saw from that region in this case, which is about 57 to 58,000 bucks. And we are currently operating above the point of control right now. So Bitcoin is in a position of strength with this 5-day closure coming a little bit later tonight. So keep that in mind. This is looking pretty damn good for now, but it is a long day left to go. 13 hours, 53 minutes, and 7 seconds. And a lot can happen during that time, of which maybe you want to be aware of the old Baramuna. Just kidding, but maybe you do believe in that, in which case, I guess this may be relevant right there. Until then, though, short-term timeframes, let's go back on over here. What are we looking like? Maybe a little bit of a short-term pullback, perhaps. Looking like it is losing some momentum right now. Yeah, 4-hour BBWP is getting up there, up to almost 90 percentile. Don't want to see that get a little bit higher before I start to look for a more prolonged consolidation here. We're not quite there just yet. Go check out momentum oscillators over here and see where we're at. Daily will actually turn down below about 49,350. So keep that area in mind. If Bitcoin does fail below 49.5, that's going to be a pretty big warning signal for perhaps a bit of a ruggening right there. 12 hour is going to turn down below 50,800. 4-hour is going to turn down below 51,300 or so. Hourly will also turn down below 51,650 as well. With that in mind, keep an eye on the underlying market dynamics over here, because we have a very similar setup in some ways to. Sir, can you stop that over there, please? To our September 7th major downside move. Actually, look at this. Sorry, I need to turn these off right now. But basically, what do we have? The global leverage ratio is starting to tick up. It's not necessarily exactly where we were on September 7th dump or August 16th dump as well, but it is getting up there, and it is somewhat of a consideration alongside open interest chugging its way up along as well. So we could very easily see a leverage washing in this market yet again, but I don't look at that as actionable as long as Bitcoin is especially above 50,000 bucks. And that would be kind of like my big red flag warning signal. And then my major actionable signal would be below about 49 and some odd change. Let's make it like 49.5. Let's just make it 49.5. Easy to remember right there. Could use an hourly. I'd probably use a 2-hour in this case, but below there, big warning signals. And that's probably where I would start to look for a leverage wash. And until then, keep an eye on the CME 5-day. If that one fulfills this condition, I would be looking for this one to essentially just kind of melt up in the next week or two into the deep 50s before any sort of potential major leverage washing. But right now, again, it's not necessarily at those levels, so it's not super solid. It's just a possibility. I would only look at that as actionable below those levels that we spoke about. Until then, sideways and up is the name of the game, I do suppose, although Bitcoin is showing some signs of slowdown here, especially on the shorter term time frames. So do be aware of where those areas are. If I'm looking very, very short term, I do think Bitcoin puts in another move down to about 51,000 even or so. It's not problematic, obviously, but we are seeing BBWP volatility like very, very low right here on pretty much all the lower term time frames, or not on the 4-hour, but on the hourly and also 5-day as well. So this next move is going to be pretty damn volatile, I suspect. Hopefully comes to the upside for the Bulas and for the Beras. Well, you're looking for a rejection pretty much down below about 50,000 bucks before end of day. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful. I'm going to be signing off now. I want to wish you the best and the haves. Take care. Until next time.